Just because it's the holidays, or whatever time of the year you're watching this, doesn't mean you have to get sucked into endless cheat meals. We all know those store shelves and Christmas parties are stocked with so much sugar it may as well be Willy Wonka's chocolate river. But we've got goals, dang it. And goals don't mean you have to go without indulging every once in a while. It might seem like those cookies, candies, and pies just called to say I love you like a Stevie Wonder song. But I promise it's more like Miranda Lambert, the early years. How do you make this thing work? Oh, turn it on. Kerosene, anyone? Don't fall victim to the holiday buffets. Instead, stay on track with these 3 decadent keto cookies. Host your own party and stock the table with things that will align with your own goals. Or you can make a trade to bring to somebody else's party so that you know you can have your own treat. Heck, you can even put them in a Ziploc bag in your pocket and bust them out anytime temptation might arise. Do whatever it is that you need to do so that when everybody else is plotting how they're gonna lose those 15 pounds on New Year's Day, you haven't gained a pound. Or maybe you even lost a few in the madness. I haven't been much of a baker since my former pastry cook / cake decorator days of yore. So I've scoured the internet high and low, or maybe just Pinterest, to bring you 3 of the most decadent keto recipes the great blogosphere has to offer. Or maybe it's just 3 of the recipes that I had the ingredients on hand for. But all that aside, if we haven't met before, hey, my name is Anna, and on this channel I share all things food. How to grow it, how to ferment it, how to preserve it, so your pantry is set up for your success. Let's get into the first binge-stopping recipe, keto cream cheese cookies. One thing that you need to become friends with when going keto is cream cheese. Full-fat cream cheese. It's a thick and creamy alternative to the high-carb options that will leave you satisfied and on track. Don't be scared now. For this recipe, we're gonna need 3/4 of a cup of blanched almond flour, 1.5 cups of coconut flour, 1/2 cup of granulated sweetener, I'm using allulose, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 4 ounces of full-fat cream cheese, 1 egg, and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. First, we need to whip up the cream cheese. Add the egg and vanilla. In a separate bowl, combine almond flour, coconut flour, sweetener, baking powder, and salt. Then add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients and blend until combined. Cover with plastic wrap and refrigerate for at least an hour or overnight. Once they're as chilly as a sleigh ride on Christmas Eve, scoop, spoon, or separate this gorgeous dough into 11 equal-ish balls. Careful not to squish these. Pop these sheets into an oven preheated to 350 degrees for 15 minutes, but mine took 20. Allow them to cool for an additional 15 minutes and dust with powdered sweetener if you choose. Results and taste tests all coming at the end. Next up are some super fluffy keto peanut butter cookies. Combine 1 cup blanched almond flour, 3 tablespoons coconut flour, 1/4 teaspoon xanthan gum. Xanthan gum is optional, but it helps in gluten-free baking. It helps to bind it together, give it some structure, so it's not so crumbly. 1/3 cup of granulated sweetener, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda. In a separate bowl, mix 1/4 cup of peanut butter and 1/4 cup of melted, unsalted butter. Add a teaspoon of liquid stevia, also optional, but you just want to add it if you'd like a little bit of extra sweetness to it. Once that's blended, add in 1 egg, then add the dry ingredients to the wet and mix until smooth. Again, cover and put it in the fridge for at least an hour. After the fridge, scoop into 11 balls on your cookie sheets and flatten slightly with crisscross fork like the peanut butter cookies of our childhood. And bake at 350 Fahrenheit for 12 to 15 minutes. Again, mine took 20. Last up is a true Christmas classic, gingerbread cookies. We need 1/4 cup of room temperature butter, 1/4 cup of room temperature cream cheese, 2/3 cup of allulose, 1 large egg, 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, 1 1/3 cup almond flour, 1/3 cup of coconut flour, 2 tablespoons of unflavored protein powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of cinnamon, 1/2 tablespoon of ground ginger, and 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. In a bowl, combine almond flour, coconut flour, protein powder, baking powder, salt, cinnamon, ginger, and cloves. In a stand mixer, cream together butter, cream cheese, and allulose until light and fluffy. Then add the egg, and heavy cream until combined. Then add the dry ingredients, but just fold it in until the dough pulls together. Don't overmix here or they won't be light and fluffy. Again, cover and put in the fridge for at least an hour or overnight. Line the cookie sheets with parchment and preheat oven to 350 Fahrenheit. Scoop dough into 10 equal balls. Don't smush them. Bake for 15 to 17 minutes or until golden around the edges. Mine took probably about 22 minutes. They will spread and crinkle just fine on their own. Let the cookies cool on a sheet for 5 minutes before transferring to a cooling rack. Taste test time. We're bringing in the big guns for this one. My non-keto hubby, so you can get perspective from somebody who's not used to gluten-free baking like I am. We got hubby here, and we're ready to give these things a taste. So, go ahead and grab that one.
What's this one?
That one is the cream cheese cookie.
Oh.
You can see the bottom. With that bake time, it didn't get too burnt.
Very neutral. You can't taste the cream cheese, so yeah, a little bit.
It's kind of got the taste of like a mild sugar cookie or like a shortbread. What do you think?
Shortbread, definitely. What else you got there?
Peanut butter. These are the peanut butter cookies. Again, not too burnt on the underside.
It's like a really, really mild peanut butter cookie. But it's like muffin texture.
I was thinking it's kind of like a coffee cake, but a muffin would be a good comparison too.
Well, I'm going to have coffee with this thing after we're filming this. I'm going to take this to my man cave and... All right, bye.
Okay. All right, ginger snap time.
Oh, yeah.
Gingerbread. All right. This one, since it had a little bit of a longer cook time to it, and it's still pretty fluffy, you probably want to put some kind of like a second cookie sheet on the rack underneath it just to disperse the heat if you don't have a whatever that kind of fancy oven is. But
yes. Oh no. Very wholesome. They call it wholesome. Wholesome stuff. And
you can kind of see with the cookie, even with that cook time, it didn't quite cook completely all the way through. It's still a little bit, I wouldn't say undercooked, but lightly cooked on the inside. And you can't really get past the cook time on this one. So I would definitely recommend splitting it up into smaller size balls, so they'll cook all the way through without burning on the bottom.
Yeah, so they all have the gingerbread, very mild, extremely mild gingerbread, extremely mild peanut butter, extremely mild cheese keys, or cream cheese, whatever it is. I'm tongue tied here.
Yeah. But not too bad if you're trying to stick to a plan and a diet and a goal.
Yeah. All right.
So.
Well, I'm gonna eat the rest of these with my coffee. So it'll go really good with like something like sweet coffee or some frappuccino or whatever. Something.
We're going keto
cappuccino.
here.
Oh yeah, you're doing keto. Why are you doing keto?
Because it makes me feel good.
It makes you feel good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me happy. She feels good.
It makes my intestines happy.
All right, I'm going to finish these off.
Thank you.
And finish some of those off too.
Help yourself. Yeah, have fun. All three of these cookies definitely have more of a texture of, like he said, a muffin or like a coffee cake or something like that. You can always increase the sweetness a little bit if you want them to be a little bit more sweet. For me, I like to just have a little bit of a treat without having a ton of the sweet flavor, because I do enjoy the keto lifestyle. I enjoy all the things that it brings to me, and having too much sweetness in a treat can oftentimes be a little bit triggering for me personally, and for most of the abstainers in the group here. So I hope you guys enjoy these recipes. I hope you guys are able to institute them in your holiday plans as well as throughout the year. All of these ingredients are available all year round. Not a big deal. You can make them anytime you need to satisfy a craving and keep you on track. If you enjoyed these recipes, make sure you let me know down below. I would love to come up with, create, and or Pinterest donate more keto recipes for you guys, and we can try them out together, or I can try them out ahead of time and let you know the ones that are really good. And also, if you enjoyed this video, check out this keto recipe I made not too long ago. It'll also help keep you on track and satisfy your taste buds. Peace out, sauerkraut.